Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me, as usual, is my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight, Joel?
Sweating my ass off. It's a nice, not so nice, 30-degree day here in Vancouver, even coming up on 6:30 p.m. But yeah, the football's been good. Very nice day on Thursday, and now we have an Auburn sweat going on. Baylor just scored a touchdown, so that's increasing the sweat in my place. But yeah, it's been fun so far. Got a big slate of games coming up tomorrow, of course. Week 1, highly excited. We got the Battle of Tigers, Clemson, LSU in the fake Death Valley. So glad for the weekend, excited for it, and fuck off summer.
Yeah, final weekend of August here, Friday night of Labor Day weekend. What other hockey podcast is out there talking about these three teams here? So that's why you got to leave a 5-star rating and review just for Joel and for Labor Day weekend here. Give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, and ring that bell there so you know when we are going live. I forget what is Labor Day a Canadian thing as well?
Yes, it is. In Europe, it's May Day. That's their working days holiday. But here it is, Labor Day.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend here in the North America. So we'll be keeping this one maybe shorter. I don't have a guest. We didn't drag anyone on for this one. No one else was wanted to come on. So going to be just the two of us here going through the Devils, Canadiens, and the Blues. Of course, make sure you check out all of our podcasts so far, going through the bottom half of the league. We're now into teams, the better teams that actually have a chance to make the playoffs, teams that made the playoffs last year. So should be some fun shows here coming up. Of course, yes, football is back. The free roll football contest is back. Free to enter, picking every NFL game against the spread. $3,000 to first place, $4,000 if you're on Patreon. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/free roll. And 25% off everything in the merch store. Promo code football. And SGPN just launched their NFL Survivor contest. $100 entry. Winner take all at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. Joel, been up to anything fun over the past 2 days here?
No, not really. Just what I've been talking about. Lunch with my dad, or dinner with my dad, rather, after the last show. Got into some spicy political arguments, as is our want. God forbid people at the other tables heard what we were talking about, but that's neither here nor there. That's pretty much it. How about you? How was your week? Or how we saw each other on
we saw each other Wednesday. Yeah, that's why. Yesterday, went out, did some shopping, walked around the city. Not too hot here. It's very, very seasonable here, so you're getting the heat up there in Vancouver. But yeah, it's just been enjoying that in the summer here. Enjoying that in the summer while we still can. We did get some hockey news today on the collegiate level. Penn State is going to host Michigan State on January 31st at Beaver Stadium in Happy Valley there. So it should be fun to see Gavin McKenna go up against Flyers prospect Porter Martone from Michigan State. So there's been talk of trying to get a Flyers-Penguins game there for a while now. There was one at Hines. There was one at the Link. We're trying to get something in the middle. We're going to get some Penn State, Michigan State there in January. That should be some fun times.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But I could do without any more of those outdoor classics. We've been over this before. One a year is sufficient.
Yeah, one a year, and everything else is just for the local markets. That's what it's all about there.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't that already, considering how many of those fucking things we've had over the past half decade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been a fucking ton. Yeah, a fucking ton. All right, let's just get right into it here with the team the Flyers played most recently in an outdoor game, the New Jersey Devils. Last season, the Devils went 42, 33, and 7, 91 points. Solid season for them with under Sheldon Keefe. did not meet their 102.5 preseason over under, but I mean, Jack Hughes missed 20 games. Dougie Hamilton missed a bunch. Like Luke Hughes was having a solid rookie year. So but Jacob Markstrom wasn't great. They had to have Jake Allen come in. So once again, like a solid season by the Devils, but just injuries, defense, everything kind of held them back. It seems to be year after year we're saying like, all right, this should be the year for the Devils, and we're probably going to say that again in 10 or 15 minutes.
We certainly will. Yeah, I would not call last season a success. They were one of the worst teams the previous year, but they had even worse injury luck that season, especially losing Dougie Hamilton for so long, Jack Hughes again, among others. And yeah, but last season, at least they made the playoffs this year, but they never stood a chance without Jack Hughes against the Hurricanes, right, in the first round. And yeah, I think they deserved a better fate. They only won one game, I'm pretty sure, right? And I thought they were pretty close to Carolina's equal in that series, but yeah, still got the 4-1. Would you call it a gentleman's sweep? Is a gentleman's sweep if it's just 4-1 or
a gentleman's sweep? Apparently, is very specific where a team wins the first 3 games. The away underdog wins game 4 at home, and then the favorite goes back to win at home in game 5. So not exactly, but yeah, there were a few overtime games there. I think the Devils game they won was double overtime with some defensemen scoring the goal. I forget exactly who, but yeah, the Hurricanes once again in the playoffs, just did not live up to expectations either.
Right. Yeah. So Sheldon Keefe was the significant favorite going into the year between the Jack Adams, of course, never sniffed that. Another big thing was the addition of Jacob Markstrom, or Jakob Markstrom, if you want to be all Swedish about it. But he was a disappointment. Jake Allen actually outplayed him when he got his games. And Markstrom as well got hurt, which certainly didn't help his numbers when he got healthy again. So, yeah, Jake Allen, that's encouraging, I guess, having that kind of a 1B guy, if that's how they use him going forward. But they certainly need Jakob Markstrom to play better than they did last year, considering what they traded for him and what they're paying him. And, yeah, so a disappointing season, even if they did make it back to the playoffs. They were still the second favorite to win the division to start the year. And yeah, like I said, not even close. Ended up being a wild card team. So yeah, disappointing season, but there's still a ton of potential as we'll get into. How did they do in the offseason? Again.
Well, I want to say one more thing on last season. Shout out to Jesper Bratt. He's been underrated for a while. 88 points in 81 games. Second straight season over a point per game. Like he flies very much under the radar. He's never going to be someone you think like, oh, he's a star, but he's been pretty good for the Devils over the past few years. Not as good Timo Meier. Timo Meier, I feel like, has been a huge disappointment with the Devils after coming over from the Sharks. He seems just like a middle 6 guy, maybe a first line guy if he has the right center. But yeah, a lot of guys for the Devils need to step up.
Right. It's a good thing they're paying Jack Hughes peasant money, because they're definitely overpaying Timo Meier there. Certainly hasn't fit the bill. He in theory is what they needed, like a big power forward, considering the small stature of the rest of this forward group, but he's not performed as they would expect. So that's certainly a concern going forward.
He's locked up till 2031 too. 2031 Meier is. And yeah, I mean, Andre Palat, another guy who definitely was raised his value in Tampa Bay, and going to the Devils just has not lived up to expectations either. But
it's a typical Lightning departure.
Yep, exactly there. So yeah, departures and additions in the offseason, added Connor Brown, Evgeny Dadonov, Angus Cruikshank, Thomas Bordeleau, Juho Lammikko, and Jake Allen apparently is an addition again somehow. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's on there. They lost Eric Halla, Thomas Tatar, Nathan Bastian, Curtis Lazar, Daniel Sprong, Justin Dowling, Brian Dumoulin, and Nolan Foote. So lost some bottom 6 guys there in Halla, Tatar, and Bastian. But I mean, the big thing is going to be, another offseason of growth for these guys. Jack Hughes getting healthy.
Absolutely, yeah. Jack Hughes has to stay healthy. You wonder if he's one of those guys who's going to be termed injury prone, if that's such a thing. But yeah, losing significant time both the last couple seasons. And there is something to that because he is a smaller player and he does get in the mix quite a bit, and he opens himself up rather stupidly to some unnecessary hits. So that is certainly something worth monitoring. But yeah, he's probably got the best contract in the league right now, considering what they're paying him. What is it, like 8-9 million?
8 million exactly, and Timo Meyer has 8.8. So that's
right,
yeah.
And they still got him locked up for multiple years. So this is their window. You know, one of the key ingredients, the key criterion of a Stanley Cup winning team is having a star under a super friendly cap hit. So yeah, like Nathan McKinnon was the obvious one there, and in Colorado, Jack Hughes is the obvious parallel to that. So yeah, this is their window. As long as that Hughes contract is what it is, this is when they have to strike. So I expect this team to make moves at some point in the season, you know, when other teams start falling off and decide to be sellers. And a team like the Devils with still some decent cap space should take advantage of that. Yeah, looking at their team here, Simon Nemec, former, I think he was a second overall pick 3-4 years ago. He hasn't quite lived up to the billing just yet, but of course he's still young. Slotted on the third line, but yeah, he definitely needs to take another step forward. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, Dougie Hamilton's age is getting a bit of a concern. What is he, like 33, 34 now? But I still like this defensive core with Luke Hughes, of course, another year under his belt. Brett Pesce, that was his first year in New Jersey, so he should be more familiar with Sheldon Keefe's system. And Jonas Siegenthaler, it's been a couple years now where he slid back. He was one of the best defensive defensemen in the league. Mm-hmm. And he's certainly fallen off from that rating. But yeah, he's still youngish, so I certainly can't see why he shouldn't bounce back. So there's certainly a lot of growth here, and I you know, the point total is still fairly high, not quite as high as it was last year, but this is a team that I'm still high on, considering the potential, considering the elite talent in their top six. Who the hell is Arseny Gritsik, by the way? I've never heard of this guy.
Arseny Gritsik? Where is he? Oh, is he on? He's in the.
I'm looking at the daily face-off lineup
on the third line here. Yeah, Arseny.
The Ukrainian name.
Let me look him up here. 5th round pick in 2019. I guess he was over in the KHL for a while, I would imagine. Let me scroll here. Yeah, last year 44 points in 49 KHL games, but yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. Could be something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about Jack Hughes staying healthy, the rest of these guys staying healthy, and Jakob Markstrom having a bounce back season. That was his first year, of course, in New Jersey. I expect him to play better in 2025-26, and they better hope so, because they do allow a lot of shots against. Not quite as much as under Lindy Ruff, but it's still not the most defensively sound team, so they'll need some quality goaltending. So Jake Allen needs to play as well as he did last year, and Markstrom needs to play better. So those are the ingredients for this team to have a successful season, and I expect them to meet most of those aspects. So yeah, I haven't bet it yet. I bet them to win the division just because I think it's like a 2-horse race between them and the Hurricanes, and the Devils are north of 3-1. So that's where my money is so far, but I would certainly look towards the over in the point total rather than under, of course. So.
I will say one big offseason addition, you know, kind of under the radar, assistant coach Brad Shaw. He left the Flyers. He worked wonders with Rasmus Ristolainen, with Jamie Drysdale. So we'll see what he's able to do with Dougie Hamilton and Luke Hughes there. And yeah, going into this season, point total is at 99.5, minus 350 to make the playoffs. They're clearly a top 3 team in the Metro. Plus 280 to win the division, and 16-1 to win the cup there. I think I'm right there with you on probably taking the over on the points, but, you know, yeah, they should get 100 points. Like they were 91, 92 points last year. Jack Hughes missing 20 games, Dougie Hamilton missing 18 games. So Metro getting a bit worse, I think, with the Penguins definitely bottoming out, and the Capitals shouldn't be as good. So I think the Devils here, you know, over on the point total, but also just plus 280 for that division. Like you said, it should be a 2-horse race, and perhaps Carolina learned something from, you know, going balls to the wall in the regular season only to lose in the playoffs.
DraftKings relatively high on this team because those are some pretty high numbers there for the Devils. You could certainly find a lot
400
better.
I'm seeing 4-1 here at FanDuel. Yeah, 280 is the lowest out there.
Exactly.
That's an amazing price, 4-1.
I agree. I didn't get that.
No, that's a good look there. All right. Anything else on the Devils before we get to our best bet here? And yes, Dilly in the chat there. We did start with the Devils this show, as you can see in the title. NHL team previews. Devils is the first one listed there.
Where the hell is Colt?
Was Colt supposed to come
Smitty
on
was asking
for Devils or something? Why is Smitty in the chat? But he can't join us here. Is he on the shitter at work or something?
Yeah, he's the Blues fan. Interesting. Well, no, the Canadiens, I guess, because he's a Canadiens fan. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
He's Canadiens and Rangers, which is an interesting mix. But
it's a weird mix there.
Anyway, one more point. Oh, Jack Hughes, I guess, to win the Hart, I guess, around 30-1. I have a little bit on that, but it's not too confident. I just think that this guy has immense potential, and I don't think that should be that long. Simple as that.
I think I may have found a bet that is better than anything on the board there. Sheldon Keefe for Jack Adams. Do you know what that's at? I have it here.
22?
40-1.
Really?
40-1.
I went from 7-1 last year to 40-1?
Yeah, and if the Devils win the division, they could be in the mix for the 1 seed in the East, could be in the mix even for the President's Trophy. Let me see if those odds are out on DraftKings. I'm pretty sure they are, because I'm sure that's shorter than 40-1. Devils are 16-1 for President's Trophy. So
yeah, that's much better than 16-1.
That's probably going to be my
I don't think they're winning the cup, but they certainly have a high ceiling for being an elite regular season team.
Yeah, absolutely there. And let me just get the you said Jack Adams the Jack Hughes for the Hart is 25-1 here on DraftKings. Don't really think they have any other possibilities. Nico Hischier for Selke maybe at 8-1. He's been in the mix, but as long as Barkov is healthy, he should be able to win the Selke again. He's -105.
What's Hischier for Selke again?
8-1.
Yeah, he was like 13-1 last year.
Yeah. Norris. No one's winning Norris. If Luke Hughes 100-1, if he takes over power play one and everything, but that's too much of a jump there.
For sure. Like Doug Hamplin's still the guy in the first power play unit, right? So
probably
sure.
Yeah.
According to Daily Faceoff, not that it means much in the middle or end of August.
No,
it's still Doug Hamilton.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to our best bets here for the Devils. I'm going with that Keefe Jack Adams at 40-1. I feel like that's
yeah, most of that's 400-1.
I was just looking at that. I was like, that's a little bit too low now.
It's definitely the drawback of the American system of odds, all the zeros when you get those.
Yeah.
For myself, I guess it's just Devils division, even though plus 280 is, like you said, the low point in the market, but whatever. Just give me 2 units on that.
2 units on that. I have Keefe Jack Adams 40-1 for 1 unit as my Devils best bet. And we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. MyBookie's $100,000 NFL Super Contest, only a $15 entry, and they're offering buy 2, get 1 free. They accept customers from a ton of locations. So head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by Rhythm. NFL is back on Rhythm. Last season, Rhythm was 76-66 against the spread and 22-19 on over-unders. They really shined on some player props. Josh Allen passing props, 23% ROI at 15-8. They also have MLB, WNBA, golf, and college football. And Rhythm just introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right. Next up here on the docket is the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens definitely had a successful season last year, I would say 40, 31, and 11 for 91 points to make the playoffs. Had a decent showing against the Capitals in the first round, all things considered. I would say St. Louis, great turnaround for them. Joel, what did you take away from the Canadiens last season?
It took away a lot of money. That's what I took away. Certainly the most profitable team in the regular season for me. Getting that 10-1 to get 90 points for them to make the playoffs, but around the same number. It was a very good season for the Canadiens, and we've been expecting that for quite some time. They just continue to progress year over year. I really like the culture of this team, and they exemplified that again. They were pretty healthy, and they had a high shooting percentage. I think they finished top 5 in both health and shooting percentage. So those are things that typically regress. But they also had the goaltending was very good too. But I was looking at the PDO. It wasn't as high as I expected. Like Montembeault is one of the best goalies in terms of goal save I've expected. But if you look at the save percentage as a team, it was bottom half of the league. And
yeah, PDO is right there, like smack dab in the middle, 15th worst, 16th, or right there in the middle. They had
top 5 shooting percentage. So I guess who's the back? Like Caden Premia was he the other guy?
He was awful. Yeah, he was awful.
And, I guess he just brought down the number.
Dobby was a great backup though, 909 save percentage.
Right.
Yeah, Caden Primo 836 in 11 games.
Yeah. But Montembeault was very good, so that's encouraging. He's still a young goalie, so I wouldn't expect him to,
He's 28 now. I thought he was young as well, but I'm seeing here
for goalie, that's still pretty young.
Okay, they hit their primes like 27, 28. Yeah,
even in their early 30s, I think for goalies they're still in their prime window. Certainly not for players, but for goalies, I think that's when they're because it's such a mental sport, right? And then they get all that experience and composure. Mm-hmm. That's something you gather as you age. But anyway, very good season for them. I thought that Martin St. Louis deserved a better fate in terms of his finishing position in terms of the Jack Adams voting, with Scott Arniel getting the second place voting when it's really just Connor Hellebuyck. What is it? Is it Connor Hellebuyck doing it, or is it the coach? You got to have one or the other. And Connor Hellebuyck won the Hart Trophy, so Scott Arniel shouldn't finish so highly in the Jack Adams, but that's how it is. And but Martin St. Louis continues to do an excellent job. It's going to be tough for him to get more attention from the voters for that reason, because he's already out himself. Oh, let's go.
I'm looking at the Jack Adams voting last year. Martin St. Louis had 2 first place votes. Same number of first place votes as Jim Montgomery, and John Cooper had 2 first place votes, 2 second place votes, and 2 third place votes. Like, I guess John Cooper deserves some credit for that Lightning team being so good, but I don't know. Martin St. Louis had 66 points. Arniel had 249, and Carberry ran away with it, 464.
Yeah, no issues with the winner there, as I've said, but I just don't understand the Scott Arniel love. But anyway, we move on. So I would say just another season of improvement for the Canadiens and another step in the right direction. A lot of guys have showed a lot of potential as being pretty good. Like Justin Bourne on Real Kipper and Bourne, he got a lot of flack for saying that Nick Suzuki was like a mid-20s 1C. Whereas clearly he showed him up in the second half of that season, and he's legitimately at least top 15 in terms of 1 season in the league, considering what he can do defensively as well as offensively. And of course, Lane Hudson. That was another nice winner for us in the Calder market. And I think he set a record for most points by a rookie defenseman, or most assists, I think it was, passing Chris Chelios, if I'm not mistaken. And he certainly looks like a player, and you can tell that he matured as the season went on. Like when it started, like he was just like a fucking fish out of water. Like how he's flopping around, just like out of position all the time, but he was still making crazy plays. But he certainly matured as the season went along. So we expect big things from him going forward. And that's an another feather in the cap of the Canadiens 2024-2025 season.
Yeah, so I know like we've hinted we're gonna be high on the Canadians, we're high on the Ducks, and recently I was reading like teams that could take a step back or something like that, and they mentioned the Ducks had the third worst expected goals for percentage last year, and Canadians had the fifth worst. Like I did not realize they were both that bad. Like I know, I feel like they're better than that, and that's not what it's all cracked up to be. Like I feel like you need to have a good expected goals for percent to like be a top contender, to be a Stanley Cup contender. But yeah, that's something to watch out for with both these Canadians and the Ducks, who were flying pretty high on as well. But yeah, last season was great, and they're a young team and they're growing. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Suzuki's 25, Caulfield 24, Hudson 20, Slavkovsky's 20. Patrick Laine had a decent year. He's still 26. We'll see how he does. Kirby Doc, obviously Demidov going in there. Yeah, so Canadians had a good year last year, and the Atlantic is going to be a mix again this coming season.
Absolutely. Off season, of course, they did make some significant moves, unlike most of the league. Bringing in Zach Bolduc from the Blues, provide some more scoring in the top six. Trading for Logan Mailloux, which will help the Blues, as we'll talk about in the next segment. So yeah, that trade is one that works out for both teams, with both teams needing strengthening in those fields. They also did the Noah Dobson trade, which was massive. What did they give up from that 20th overall pick, something like that?
Yeah, it was just picks for him, right? Like they didn't give up anyone of consequence for the roster.
Yeah, so their back six is looking pretty damn good now with Gooley and Dobson, Hudson, Carrier, who had an excellent year coming over from Nashville. Now Mike Matheson, who was the best defender for a number of years, now that he's getting older, he's slotted on the third line, which is some excellent depth. And they also have young guys coming up through the prospect system. Yeah, this is still a team with a ton of prospects as well. So some of those guys could see action. And we haven't even mentioned the name yet, but Ivan Demidov, of course.
I mentioned the name, Joel. You don't listen to me. You don't listen to me sometimes.
Sorry, I'm watching Auburn fuck away this 17-point lead. Yeah, he came in for a few games in the regular season, just absolutely wowed the Montreal, the Bell Center, and we expect big things for him going forward. So that's almost like an off-season addition, getting him into the lineup now for a full season. Mm-hmm. So I love the off-season for the Canadiens. That's why I think that they'll still be a force to reckon with next season.
Yeah, you mentioned Dobson, Bolduc coming in from the Blues there too. Two good trades for the Canadiens. Who's their GM? I'm not sure if you know it off the top of your head there, but some good
Jeff Gorton. Can't use. It's like a mix, right?
Yeah, that sounds right to me. Sammy Bly brought in Mark Delgado.
There's a HBO show called The Rebuild.
Oh, is that an HBO show?
I haven't watched it. I think so.
I thought that was just like a Canadians produced team thing.
Okay, well, it's on Crave, which is mostly HBO, so I could be wrong about what it is exactly, but it's big production. That's the point.
Okay, all right. Lost Heineman, Christian Dvorak coming down to the Flyers, Joel Armia, David Savard, just a depth guys. But I feel like these young guys are stepping into bigger roles here next season. Like looking at their top line, Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, second line, Bolduc, Doc, Demidov, Laine, Newhook, Kapanen, Oliver Kapanen. I didn't know there was another Kapanen in the league. And then Gallagher, Evans, Anderson might be one of the best fourth lines in the league.
Well, I guess, but I think they want all three of those guys off the books pretty quickly. I don't know. Gallagher was brutal, and especially in the first half of last season. He was better in the second half, but he's not the old Brendan Gallagher, but a good culture guy, I guess.
Yeah. You
need those kind of voices in the room at least.
Yeah, Gallagher is still making 6.5, Anderson at 5.5 for the next 2 years. Both have a modified no trade clause.
That's an expensive fourth. That's why it looks good.
That's why it's so good. Yeah, it looks good on paper there. Also brought in Capo Kakkonen to be a solid veteran backup there with Montembeault and Dobby. So won't have Caden Primo there screwing up their save percentage.
Yeah, Dobes is actually young, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's he probably should be in the he was born in 2001, so that makes him what, 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes you feel old, right? Like these players fucking born. These players drafted are like born in like 07. It's like, what the fuck?
I already feel old. I don't need other people to make me feel older.
Yeah. So yeah, this coming season, Canadians are at 90.5 points after getting 91 points last season, plus 105 to make the playoffs, 14-1 for the division, 50-1 for the cup. Of course, you have Ivan Demidov, 2-1 for the Calder here at DraftKings, and Lane Hudson, 25-1 for the Norris. And I think St. Louis is like 12-1 for the Jack Adams, is what I saw. So what are you looking at here? How you're attacking the Habs this season?
I pretty much have all of those bets. Yeah, I have over 89.5 points and over 90.5. Playoffs, a little better number. Division, a little better number. Didn't bet them to win the cup. They're not winning the cup. Martin St. Louis to win the Jack Adams 14-1. Davidoff, around 2-1 to win the Calder. Just really high on this team. I think they have another platform that they'll achieve this season. And so, pick your poison or pick all of them. And that's the way I'm betting this team this season. I guess the one that I would use for best bet, if we want to go that far already, would be just Demidov at 2-1 to win the Calder, because I do not like this rookie class at all, and I think that this guy is at least as good as Michkov, and Michkov was like odds on for parts of the season anyway. And it was a better rookie class last season.
Yeah, no, it definitely was last season with Celebrini, with Michkov. Like, no one really thought Hudson could come at it kind of anywhere, and maybe we'll see. Booyam.
Sure, nobody.
Not a lot of people. Not a lot of the so-called experts out there. But yeah, we'll see if Booyam or Zane Parekh comes out of nowhere like Hudson did last year. But 2-1 for Demidov probably does seem the best way to attack the Habs this season. Division, I could see it. I don't know if 14-1 is long enough. They're 18-1 out there. I still think that's probably too short. With one of the Panthers, Leafs, or Lightning are going to be good enough, I think. And honestly, could be a hot take, but I feel like the Senators could be better, especially if Allmark gives them a higher floor. I feel like in net, as long as he stays healthy. But plus odds to make the playoffs might have to be my best bet. I'm not gonna. You've been banging the Demidov drum. I'm not gonna copy that one for my best bet. So that's probably what I'll do for my best bet here. I have you down Demidov Calder at 2-1. How many units would you like on that?
All 5, baby.
All 5 units. Max bet there. Max bet lock. Put all the fire emojis next to it as well.
Mega whale play.
Yeah. Let's do Canadiens playoffs. At 105. I'll put three units on that. Is that kind of in line with what I've been playing? Yeah, I'll do 3 units on a plus 105 bet. I feel like they're going to take a step forward, and they made the playoffs last year, so that means they'll make it again.
Ale.
All right. Anything else here before we go to our second ad break?
Nope.
Okay. Canadians big underdog here, and we're brought to you by Underdog. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguing about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. It's also a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with code HGP. Right, and Circa Million and Circa Survivor, the world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contests, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Sign up in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. Contest close on Saturday, September 6th, so get in now. All right, going to the St. Louis Blues here for our third and final team on this episode. Blues last season had a solid year, I want to say. The Blues, made the playoffs, took the President's Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets to 7 games, and, really probably should have won that series. They were up by 2 goals in the final minutes of Game 7 there, but regular season, 44-30-8 for 96 points, including 35-18-7 under Jim Montgomery. Had a preseason point total of 87.5. Robert Thomas, 81 points. Jordan Kyrou, 70. Dylan Holloway, a big offer sheet from The Oilers had 63 points, big breakout season for him. And then in net, probably one of the best, most consistent tandems in the league there with Jordan Bennington and Joel Hofer, both at over 900 save percentage. Looking at the fancy stats here, their expected goals 4%. They were in the bottom 12 there, 12th worst expected goals 4%, but they're kind of all bunched up at the 49, 49.2, 49.3. Like once you're in the 49 to 51 range, you're pretty solidly there in the middle of the mix. So what do you think of the Blues last year, Joel?
Well, we started out fading them pretty hard, the under point total, missed the playoffs, pretty big bets, and it was looking very good with the way that the season started. They weren't getting quite the bounces, the breaks that this team has received over the past, seemingly since they won the cup, really, where they continually overachieve their underlying numbers, and then the trade or the coaching change happened, and it was not just a dead cat bounce. Jim Montgomery legitimately put this team in a right direction, and yeah, we saw that even in their underlying numbers where they improved markedly in those respects. And he was able to get the most out of the defense, which we puts Colin one of the worst in the league for a few years now. And the addition of Cam Fowler was actually a really good addition. It really improved their defense. Yeah, the coaching change was massively really great. Jim Montgomery, who of course has ties with the Blues, not only because he was their assistant coach a few years ago before he went to Boston, but I think that he also has some personal stuff there. And yeah, he really fit right in and turned this team around and ended up having a very competitive series against the Jets, where they were, I think, at least as good as them, really. I mean, Hellebuck was certainly bad in that series, but the Blues were elite at home. They fucking lit Hellebuck up, the nominal Hart Trophy winner. So yeah, I do respect the improvement that this team made after the coaching change. So that really switched things up. Thankfully, I was able to get out of some of those unders by betting the Blues when it was clear that Montgomery was changing his team up. But overall, yeah, just a successful season, and then they do have a pretty good pipeline now. I remember a couple of years ago they had 3 first overall picks. Those guys should be coming up into the lineup pretty quickly, and Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou is still in their prime. They just need to fix the defense, and going straight to the offseason thing is the Zach Bolduc trade was perfect for them. Getting another prospect in Logan Mailloux, who really should have been like a top 15 at least pick, but because of the controversy, he ended up sliding to the end of the first round, where they had scooped him up there, and yeah, so that's another guy in the system where they are weak. So good addition there on the back end. I don't know what else happened in their offseason.
Off-season recap here. Signed your boy Pius Suter from the Vancouver Canucks, one of the top centers that actually made it to market there. Nick Bukestad as well, a solid bottom 6 guy, bottom 6 veteran to raise their floor a bit. Lost Bolduc, Ryan Suter, Torrey Krug has been pretty much ruled out for the rest of his career, and Radek Faksa as well. So not a ton of losses there. Bolduc, easily replaced, I think, on that second line for the Blues with Holloway, and they have Snuggerud coming in. He joined them at the end of last season. He's going to be on their top line, or at least second line. Then they also drafted Justin Carboneau, 19th overall, who has an outside chance to make the team, but I'd be surprised if he does. Good, solid offseason for the Blues there.
Yeah, it's very solid. I like the trade, like I said, for both teams, Montreal and St. Louis, but also the Pius Suter signing, which was, maybe a little above market, but not crazily so. I mean, he's a guy who can he's one of the most flexible players in the league. You don't want to sign a guy early when it comes off like a career year in a contract year, but when he's so flexible, you can actually make it work because he can elevate a third line, as we saw in Vancouver. He can move up the lineup as well in case of injuries. So yeah, I really like that addition. Nick Bukestad is whatever, but Pavel Buchnevich, he's not quite the player he was a couple years ago, but still really rate him. He's an analytical darling, good two-way player. and Dylan Holloway. Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
good player.
Holloway.
He's
I
got a
mentioned him. He
second.
had a great year last year. It's like
Indeed.
70 points or so.
Yeah, so this is a young
63.
team.
Yeah.
Young team. And they're, one of the best GMs in the league. Is it Doug Armstrong? Bill Armstrong? I was confused between the Mammoth GM and the
Doug
St. Louis
Armstrong.
GM. Doug Armstrong, right?
Doug.
He's also the Team Canada guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like what this team has done in the offseason. And of course, Jordan Binnington, very up and down season, but you might expect that after how he performed in the Four Nations, winning it for Canada. But he was actually pretty good. Outdueled Connor Hellebuyck, the nominal Hart Trophy winner, in that series against the Jets. So he's just a big game player. You won't get the best out of him in the regular season, but when the games matter more, he'll perform at the required level. So I think this team is pretty solid so far. Or they're pretty solid. They're more solid than I've given credit for in the past 3-4 years.
Yeah, no, they really are. I'm trying to think about what my best bet's going to be like. They're a forward group. We went over them. Good. I mean, Neighbors, Suter, Bukestad there on the third line is a good third line. Fourth line, can hit and whatnot there. And defense, Fowler addition you mentioned in the season was a big one.
We neglected to mention we mentioned Dylan Holloway, but not in the context of fleecing the Oilers with those offer sheets. Philip Broberg there, who is also very good for the Blues. So yeah, Doug Armstrong. Like I'm saying, this guy's he's been around for a while and for good reason.
Yeah, they have a solid top four there on defense. Fowler, Pareko, Broberg, Falk, and then Mailloux just gets to hang out in the third pair with Tyler Tucker, and plays some power play time. I imagine Mailloux is going to be on the power play. Daily Faceoff has
first line.
I think so. No,
Fowler's a power play guy, man.
All right,
I don't know. Mailloux's still raw. Yeah, maybe towards the end of the season if he performs, but I'm not going to start there.
Yeah, we'll see there. Okay, so for the upcoming season, their point totals is set at 92.5, minus 115 to both make or miss the playoffs, 12-1 to win the division, and 50-1 for the cup there. Some player awards. Snuggerud is 16-1 for the Calder. I think that's really the only possible one they could win, right?
Yeah, I mean, Snuggerud at 12-1 though.
16. It's short. It's definitely short there. Yeah. I don't think they really have any Norris candidates or Hart candidates. Or not Vezina. So Snugger is the only one potentially worth mentioning at 16-1. I guess Jack Adams maybe, but I don't know if Montgomery.
What is he at?
He's at 25-1. So double what the division is. That's I guess a value bet. If you like the Blues to win the division, take Jack Adams instead or along with it. But I would not advise that.
No, this is a team I have 0 bets on, but it is a team that has actually got a lot of love for the market. Their initial point total was like 89.5, and you see here on the screen, DraftKings has moved all the way to 92.5, and most books agree with that move. So yeah, I like the team, I guess, but I also like a lot of the Central, and
that's the thing.
In future episodes, I'd rather just back the Wild, who are just priced a little bit shorter than them. So yeah, I can't bet everybody, and I don't want to fade this team again, considering what we've said in a generally positive team preview. So I am very agnostic in terms of betting them preseason. We'll have to monitor how things go in the first couple of months, but as of now, I got absolutely no idea what to bet.
Yeah, you mentioned the big thing there. Like if the Blues were in a different division, even the Pacific, like I feel like they would have a much better chance of making the playoffs. But the Jets, Stars, and Avalanche are all going to be above them. I mean, the Jets aren't going to be as good as they were last year, but they're going to be in the mix unless Hellebuyck gets hurt. The Wild were above them last year by 1 point, and now they're going to be healthy. Kaprizov missed half the season last year. He's in a big contract year. Then you have the Mammoth coming up as well behind them, and the Preds who could finally, get those stuff together there. So if anything, I think we have to just, even if it's just committing to the bit, we have to fade the Blues. We have to.
I don't know. If there was a market out there or somebody wants to give me this market, I would take +5 points against the Jets, or even like a matchup if you give me a good plus
Really?
180 2-1 kind of thing. Yeah, I could definitely see the Blues finishing out of Winnipeg this season. But yeah, in actual markets available, I don't know. Generally positive, so just give me make the playoffs. That's how finally it's our first.
This is going to be what makes the difference. The different bets. So.
Right. Okay. Fuck.
They're both minus 115. You doing?
I was just gonna do one, but you went two. Just do one.
We'll do one each. We'll do one each. That'll be.
Because I don't want to bet 2 units on something I don't bet myself.
No, that's yeah. When I put 2 there, I was like, I actually putting 2 on this because if I win, I want to win more than 1 unit. But 1 unit works for me there. I feel like we're both very, like you said, agnostic on the Blues there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else here before we start to wrap this thing up? We will likely be taking all of Labor Day week off. I have a trip planned, so no Wednesday show, no Friday show. We might try to get one in on Monday or Tuesday, depending on what happens. But we're running through these team previews. We're halfway through, getting to this good stuff, and then we can talk about a bunch of player markets opened up. I didn't realize the goalie win totals until Bulljacks on last episode mentioned it. There's a bunch of markets we can get into and talk about our actual player award bets closer to the season. But as for our next episode, it looks like it will be the Flames, Senators, and Wild. Not very inspiring teams to talk about there, but
I actually thought it was going to be the Flames this episode, not the Blues, so I didn't look at any of
those. Oh, stuff, so. I don't know why NHL standings has the Blues first. If I had known that, I would have done the Flames instead. The Flames did have less regulation wins and less regulation overtime wins, so I don't know why.
It doesn't matter.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, yeah. No. Next episode, whenever it is, Flames, Sens, and Wild. I'm Rachel. Anything else here for the weekend? You got CFL, you got college football, you got US Open. When's the US Open final? Next week or 2 weeks?
No, next week.
All right.
It'll be right in the middle of fucking week 1 NFL. So all the NFL nerds will be watching, Seahawks 49ers. I'll be tuning in to Sinner Alcaraz.
Yeah. What do you think about the new haircut there for your boy?
Wait, do you know the story behind it?
I don't know.
Apparently he had his brother or his brother-in-law or something like this cut his hair because his barber couldn't make it from Spain or whatever, and he totally fucked it up, so he had to go like total skinhead. So that's what happened. But no, I don't care. No, hair is hair. It'll grow. Like I'm growing back my hair, and it's
you are
started coming in. Yeah.
What? Who's the favorite right now? I'm gonna try to look that up while you're talking.
Sinner. But Alcaraz is looking really fucking
as he should be, right?
Yeah, they're on a collision course. Like,
yeah,
it's like
minus 110 plus 150 right now.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
right. That's basically what they were to start the tournament. So
hasn't changed much. Yeah. Okay, if nothing else here, make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Gallon podcast on YouTube, like and comment there. Go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and Spotify as well. You can follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN if you have any feedback. Discord as well, sg.pn/Discord. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer, and you might find me making a trip to Baton Rouge with a sniper rifle, 308 Springfield, maybe, to kill Brian Kelly if he loses another week 1 open.